I guess you love movies. I do too. Hi guys, and welcome back to another channel update video. And it's kind of gonna, be a little bit of a dual video. This a bit of a double feature. Talk about two things in this video. Firstly, my most anticipated. Actually, not firstly, because that wouldn't make sense because it wouldn't go in order and everything. But I'm going to talk about my favourite movies of 2016, and I'm going to talk about my most anticipated movies of 2017. So, I look a bit shit, I know. I've been coughing a lot. I've still got the remnants of this cold. It's like an absolute bitch. It just will not go away. I look like a skeleton right now. Like, I've got a really white face and I look really ill. So, I'm not that ill. I'm not that ill. I'm fine. But obviously, I wanted to get this video out for you guys. I might cough a few times, like probably in a few seconds. Yeah. So, just warning you, I will probably cough a few times in this video. But let's get into it. So, my favourite movies of this year. This year's been a bit of a weird year for me because a lot of the sort of Oscar buzz films like La La Land and Manchester by the Sea and Moonlight, I haven't been able to see because they're not out yet. They're not out in the UK yet. They're all coming out in January. Moonlight comes out in February. So I haven't seen them because they're not out in the UK yet, which is really annoying because I'm coughing. That's annoying. But what's also exceptionally annoying is that you watch like loads of reviews and they're like, this movie's so great, and they're American, and you're like, good for you, you can go to a theatre and watch this movie. I can't. It's really annoying. So there is no La La Land, there is no Manchester by the Sea, there isn't any Moonlight, Hacksaw Ridge, any of these movies that you may expect me to talk about, because I just haven't seen them, and I can't see them until they come out. So I'm sorry. But I'm just going to talk about the ones I have seen. And arguably my favourite sort of mainstream film of this year, you saw it in my Blu-ray video, is Zootopia, if you're from America. Either way, doesn't really matter, it's the same movie at the end of the day. And it's definitely one of my favourite animated films of recent years. I love the story, I love the characters. The animation is on point, I mean it's beautiful, so vivid and vibrant. But this place, this Zootropolis, this Zootopia, feels like a real place. And I love the message that really everyone is somewhat racist. Everyone judges people on their preconceptions of what those types of people have been like to them in the past, or their stereotypes. We don't mean to do so, but it's just part of our nature. And really, if we all want to live together, we've got to work to try and, not judge people on those preconceptions. So I just died like halfway through this video. That would be awkward. That would be very awkward. Yeah, I love that movie, it was great. I love Zootropolis, and that's why I obviously own it on Blu-ray. Another film that I really need to get on Blu-ray at some point is Captain America Civil War, which I thought was the best Marvel film that they've ever made. They still have a problem of having great antagonists in Marvel films, and Zemo is no different. I mean, the guy he isn't the most charismatic of people, is he? I mean, Loki's good. I like Loki. I probably don't like Loki as much as some people like Loki, but I like Loki. I should stop saying that, it's really annoying. But I thought Zemo was fine, but they kind of sacrificed his intrigue as a villain to sort of, further the plot and the more depth that the film goes into in terms of the characters, and that really, even though Tony Stark has this incredible suit and Captain America is a superhuman crazy guy with a shield, they're people at the end of the day, and they have real emotions, and they can make stupid decisions based on their emotions and based on irrational, anger and hate and love and stuff like that. They can make those decisions just as much as anybody else can. And really, Zemo is trying to prove that, what he's doing, they could quite easily do as well. He's not some crazy person, he's not some supervillain, he's just a normal guy, and at the end of the day, they are too, and that if they're given the information of who was responsible for killing someone that they loved, then they would do exactly the same thing as he's doing as well. And I found that very interesting. Other than that, I mean, it's just standard Marvel, as well as having a really layered plot that actually has more to it than a lot of other Marvel films. I think that the action's fantastic, the airport scene is great, everyone knows about that. The banter between the characters I've always loved in the Marvel films. And I don't really know how, but they managed to juggle these characters so well in this film. And the the introduction of Spider-Man into the universe has just made me so excited, and I'll talk about that a little bit later in this video. But other films that I've seen that I really enjoyed, of course, Deadpool, great comic book film, really entertaining, really funny. Maybe the plot wasn't exactly the most amazing, or the villain, but I really enjoyed it overall, and Ryan Reynolds is just Deadpool. He's just perfect. The action's really good in the film as well, and it is very funny and very entertaining. Another very funny film was The Nice Guys, which just did not make enough money. It bombed at the box office. It was a massive shame because Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe together in that film are so good. It's such a great buddy cop noir mystery film. And their chemistry's fantastic together. It's really like a sort of 1970s sort of buddy cop film, and it's really it's like a sort of Lethal Weapon for nowadays. And they're really great together. His daughter, Ryan Gosling's daughter in the film, not his daughter in real life, his daughter in the film, is fantastic as well. Is very funny and isn't annoying at all. And I really enjoyed The Nice Guys a lot. And I'm surprised that it didn't make, it made so little money, and it's really disappointing because films like this should be making money. Films like Batman vs Superman, which really technically bombed, but it still made a shitload of money, and films like Suicide Squad make this money, and they're not good movies. But then you have a movie like The Nice Guys, which really deserves a lot more money than it gets, because it is an excellent film, and I really enjoyed it a lot. Other films that I really enjoyed was Arrival with Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner. I found it to be an excellent thinky sci-fi film. Really intelligent, really quiet, and I loved how it talked about communication between not just humans, but communication in general, and it was really interesting, and I thought that Amy Adams was fantastic in this film. And it's definitely a film that you have to think about before you talk about it, because it's very complex and it's very layered, and I really enjoyed the film a lot. And you definitely have to think watching this film. This isn't an Independence Day. This isn't a really sort of fun action sci-fi film. This is like a thoroughbred sci-fi, and I really enjoyed it a lot. And it gives me a lot of hope for Denis Villeneuve's take on Blade Runner, because he really nailed this film. And really my only negative was that Jeremy Renner didn't really have much to do, but other than that I loved this film, and I thought Arrival was fantastic. Those are really my main sort of mainstream picks, but I've got a couple of picks that were kind of indie movies that I watched on Netflix over the year that I really enjoyed, and I thought that they deserved a lot more credit than they're getting at the moment. The first one I watched was Blue Jay, which is on Netflix right now. Go check it out. It's really good. It's a film about two people who were high school sweethearts, like years and years ago, and they both come back to their sort of old town that they used to live in. It's a very small town. And they meet again in the supermarket, and they end up having coffee together and going to each other's houses and reminiscing about their life back then, and their relationship. And it's such a beautiful film. It's in black and white. It's a very charming film. It's very funny, like really funny actually. It's surprisingly funny, because the two leads have such beautiful chemistry together, and it is a wonderful film. And I think that it's very underrated, and if you haven't seen it, which most people probably haven't, I'd really recommend you watch Blue Jay. It's a very good film, and one that deserves a lot more credit than it's getting. And the final film that I'm going to talk about is is the musical film Sing Street, about a boy from Dublin in the 1980s, and he's having quite a few family issues, and he decides to start a band, and it's really a great, fun, entertaining film. It has so much heart, all the music's original, it's really great, really entertaining, really vibrant and well written. It's funny, it's really charming, and it's really for anyone in any age group can watch this film. I really love it a lot, and I think that, yes, it has a predictable ending, and sometimes you can see where the movie's going, but it is such a lovely film, and it really is, you know, will bring back a lot of nostalgia for people that grew up in the 80s, the type of music that was around, and I think that the kids in this film do a really good job of bringing out their characters, and I thought that Sing Street was an excellent film. So there you go. That is my favourite. Those are my favourite films of 2016. I wonder what you thought of them. Hopefully you enjoyed 2016 as much as I did. Now moving on to 2017, and there is a lot of films coming out next year. Well, not next year, this year now. And there's a lot of films that I'm looking forward to. I've already talked about Blade Runner 2049, I'm really looking forward to that. The teaser trailer was somewhat underwhelming, but I'm still looking forward to it quite a lot. Denis Villeneuve directing, and he's a great director. As I said, directed Arrival, directed Sicario, directed Prisoners. The guy's very talented, and I think that he could do a really good job with his story. Dunkirk is another movie that I'm really looking forward to. Massive fan of Christopher Nolan. Really enjoy World War II films. So those two combined, I'm going to be excited because the teaser trailer looks good. I'm really excited for the film, and I think, you know, Christopher Nolan has yet to make a bad movie, and I think that I really hope that he continues his run of great films. Another film that I'm really looking forward to, again, that I kind of touched on a little earlier in Civil War, was Spider-Man: Homecoming. I just love the new Spider-Man. Tom Holland is so great, and he's really well written, and he feels really like that comic book Spider-Man that we all know and love. Spider-Man was one of my favourite superheroes as a kid, and he still is now, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this film. Even though I really enjoy Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, especially Spider-Man 2. We don't talk about Spider-Man 3, that didn't happen. But I really enjoyed those films, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what Marvel does with this. And Tom Holland, I'm really looking forward to it. It looks great. A few other films I'm just going to quickly gloss over that I'm really looking forward to is War of the Planet of the Apes. Love the other two films. think this one's going to be great as well. Teaser looks pretty epic, and this film, you know, I think that would definitely be good in IMAX. I might have to go see it in that. Another film is Coco, the new film by Pixar. Massive Pixar fan. Think they're the best thing that's ever happened to animation. They've really sort of reinvigorated it over this last decade, and they just don't really make bad films other than Cars. So I'm really looking forward to Coco. And there's a few other films like Baby Driver, which is Edgar Wright's new film. And of course, Star Wars Episode 8. Massive Star Wars fan, really enjoyed The Force Awakens a lot. I liked Rogue One, I didn't love it, but I really enjoyed it, so I'm absolutely pumped still for Episode 8. So those are my most anticipated movies of 2017. There are a lot of other films that are coming out this year that I haven't mentioned, but we don't have the longest video of all time. So, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Goodbye.